I never actually went back to my job after my maternity leave. Not because I couldn't, but because deep down in my heart, I knew that I wanted to stay with my son. So at 37, after having my baby, I was supposed to return, and but something in me had totally changed, and I couldn't ignore it. Hi, I'm Cha. Welcome back to my channel. So, if you're a mom and you're currently on maternity leave or thinking about going back to work, this video is for you because I want to share why I made the decision to resign before even going back. So, before even giving birth, I already had a plan. Me and my husband already had a plan. You take the maternity leave, recover, and then go back to work. Simple, right? That's what I told myself. That's what I thought would happen eventually. But actually, it wasn't the case after all. So, here in Australia, you can actually take at least 1 year off of maternity leave. Let me tell you why. It's because here in Australia, my work has given me 16 weeks in total of mat leave. So I can basically put that on half. So instead of them paying me full for the 16 weeks, I can actually just ask them, request to them that I want my half pay of my pay. That half pay will give me a total of 32 weeks in total. So 16 weeks. I'll do a half pay, which gives me 32 weeks in total. And then once your 32 weeks is over, you can actually claim a paid parental leave from Centrelink here, which is from the government. So that gives me another 110 days. But that 10 days is for my husband to take, and that 100 remaining days is for me to take. So it's not a total 110. But now in 2026, they're giving, I think, 130 days, or yes, I think it's 130 days, but yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. So that's the beauty of having a maternity leave here in Australia. So it gives me a total of 13 months to be with my son. Well, my son goes like 1 year old, and then you can totally decide if you want to go back. So everything changed after having my baby, and I didn't felt normal anymore. I didn't feel the same way as it was before. My days looks different, my priorities has shifted, and even how I see time has changed, totally changed. And because suddenly for me time felt so precious with my son. And the thought of going back was a very difficult decision for me because as my maternity leave is coming to an end, me and my husband had a discussion before that. Okay, I'll go back for 3 days, and then we deducted it for 2 days for the first 6 months for the adjustment period for my son. But that still didn't change how I felt. So I keep asking myself, can I really leave my baby behind every day? Or will I regret missing these moments, the milestones that I was supposed to see? Can I be fully present at work at the same time or at home? And honestly, I didn't have a clear answer on those questions that I had. And I mean, it's just a feeling that I wasn't really ready to go back. And then the guilt that would come up that I should go back, feeling like I have to go back because that's what, you're supposed to do. You take you take a leave, then return to work. But my heart was pulling me in a different direction. And let's be honest, choosing to go back is scary. At 37, you think about stability, finances, and your child's future. And I question myself a lot. Like, am I being emotional? Am I making the wrong decisions for doing these? So me and my husband made the decision that we're gonna live on one income, on his income, and that is the most difficult part because we still have a mortgage, and I just don't know where this will, if this decision will be at our best interest. But I definitely know deep down in my heart I need to be here with my son. I didn't want to look back and say, what if I resigned? What if I've stayed with him? I could have more time with him. I just don't want to go back on that because I know what ifs are this, what having those what ifs in lives are the biggest and the scariest pain in your heart that you could never erase because you can never go back on those times. So before that, before ending my maternity leave, I actually contacted my manager about my decision, and they were sad. They were sad that I have to come up to the decision because they we said I pretty have a good relationship with my manager, so they were a bit sad, but it was also hard for me really because that's 50% of my identity before being a mother. So it's hard for me to let go of something so precious that I built, like the career I built, and the finances also really was on the financial side that was really good. So it was hard to let go, but I know for myself that I had to. And I'm going to be posting a video about that, about my resignation, on my next YouTube video. So going back to a topic, after the decision that I resigned, honestly, I felt in my heart, I felt less, not less, but I felt the heaviness in my heart has gone away because that was the crucial part of me going back, deciding when to return and what to do, what's gonna happen with my son. But eventually, that made my heart don't feel heavy at all. It just made my life a bit lighter, and it's still a little bit scary, But at the end of the day, I need to listen to what my mom instinct is saying, and that's to stay with my son for now. And then once this season is over, then I can eventually come back and work again. But I'll see how I go because life's short. So if you're a mom or you're on maternity leave right now and you're feeling the same pull as I was before, that same confusion, that same questions, you're not alone. You don't have to have everything figured it out because I didn't figure it out either. You just have to be honest in what makes the most of you. You just have to be honest with yourself. And also, there's no perfect path in motherhood. You just have to figure it out along the way with your journey, because that's what I did. I'm a new mom, and I thought I figured it out before having a baby, but boy, everything changed, everything shifted. I felt like sometimes a different person, but then at the same time, I still try to be that person, that jolly person that I used to be. So if this resonated with you, I'd love to hear your story on the comment section below. If you're planning on going back to work and you're thinking about staying longer, it's all up to you. Just listen to what your heart is saying because it's all about you and your son.